Hey everyone, how you doing? Sarah Nicole here again. Today we're going to be making macarons, French macaron. I have my friend over here today. Her name's Patti, and she's the one who perfected this recipe, and she loves baking them, and she's selling them now, and I'm so proud of her. We're going to get started. So we have all of our ingredients already prepped and measured out. We're going to post the recipe down below. We're only making a third of it today, but I can post all of the measurements and everything in the description if you want to make these on your own. It's definitely a difficult process, but that's the whole point of, well, at least I tried, because, you know, we're trying new things, even though I've done this before, but we're gonna make it perfect this time. I hope. So, it'll be fun. Alright, let's get started. For the egg whites that you're gonna need for the recipe, you want them at room temperature, and this egg was not at room temperature, so we went ahead and put it in hot water to just get it to room temperature, and now it's pretty good. I'm gonna crack the egg and separate the white from the yolk. Now we mix.
Has kind of a peachy red look. We're going to add some pink, straight pink food coloring. We're going to add a little bit more pink than we would like it to look. It'll turn out a little bit lighter than that once it's baked.
Let's see where they're at. So with stiff peaks, it'll stand straight up. We're still at not peaks.
Pretty slodgy right now.
Pretty sloshy. Is that stiff?
Can you hold it over your head? Ta-da! If it's not falling out and they're sticking up like that, they look pretty good and stuff.
Ta-da! Ta-da! Scrape, scrape. Scrape, 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 scrape. Look at me go! I get easily entertained. I am a 4-year-old. So we have our stiffed egg whites here, and we're gonna add them into our almond flour mixture and start mixing, but we don't want to overmix, and I'm gonna have a little friend come in and he's gonna help me, and that's my friend's son. His name is Paul, and he's my favorite. Can you say hi to the camera, Paul?
Hi!
So we're gonna have you mix this in just a minute.
Okay.
Just have to get it a little bit more combined. Here you go, buddy. Go ahead and start mixing.
Okay, I will.
Thank you.
Isn't me the bestest helper ever?
Yes, you are.
Can you hold this?
I can't.
I did it.
You did it? Is that all you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your help. How's your day going?
Good.
Good.
And good, good, good. So how was the baking going?
It's going great.
Okay.
Me too.
Say bye-bye, Paul.
Bye.
We are getting pretty close. All the flour is pretty much gone. Patti!
Once you do this, after a few times, you kind of get a feel for how it's going to feel. And also this is just a third of a recipe, so it's going to feel a little different. It's such a small one. Yeah, this is fine.
She does it better than I do.
Well, I've also made a lot more than you have.
That is fair. But I appreciate you for teaching me.
So, see, it flows pretty well. And I'm able to do a figure 8 without it breaking.
It's good. Perfect.
I happen to have this M&M container around, which just works perfect for holding piping bags. You can buy bigger piping bags and try to hold on to them to fill them. I just find it very difficult. So go ahead and fill it up. Maybe about half of that to start with. On piping bags, you have a fill line right there, and you don't want to go ever too much further than the fill line, because once you fill it, you don't just hold it like this because it'll squeeze out the top. You want to do a good twist and hold.
See, didn't go above the fill line, so hopefully this works.
You want about an inch circle, inch diameter, so maybe right about there.
Trusty scissors.
Some people use the
Piping tips?
yeah, the piping tips for them, but I don't find it necessary, especially since we're not doing a specific kind of design or anything like that.
Ta-da! And she has conveniently drawn little macaroon circles on it.
You make it sound like the stuff doesn't want to come out. I want to stay in the bed forever.
It doesn't want to be eaten.
That's what they're made to do. They want to be eaten.
But what if they don't want to? Have you ever considered the egg's feelings?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Fair. On to the next tray.
Now, normally before you do each tray, you're going to want to pound the trays. Basically what the pounding does is gets any air bubbles out. When you're pounding them, you want to kind of pound a little bit this way and then rotate and pound again. Hold onto your parchment paper, it can slide. Silicone usually stays in place pretty well. When you're getting ready to refill your bag, I found these lovely little clips to hold at the end so it doesn't come out the end when you're trying to refill. You gotta clean it out each time because it gets goopy up inside. Oh.
So we're going to set a timer for 20 minutes because that's how long the macarons that you just pounded take to set.
Basically, you want them to set to the point that you can touch the top and it's dry. It helps settle any air bubbles that might need to come up, and also will help make that kind of shine on top.
Also, while those are resting, you want to preheat your oven to 300 degrees. It has begun. All our macaroons are all done. We have them all sitting here. There's a couple that are cracked, but that's okay because it happens. So we're gonna go ahead and start making our buttercream filling, which is gonna be a dark chocolate buttercream icing, which is gonna be super yummy. So to start off, we have our powdered sugar, we have our softened butter, and some melted dark chocolate. Gonna put our butter into the powdered sugar and mix it around.
Now here's where it gets kind of tricky. Usually you use just like flavoring and stuff with buttercream icing, but as you can see here we're using melted chocolate. So it's going to be kind of a test of the consistency and test the taste, which is always good.
Well, a whole clump just fell in, so that's fine. We'll see how that goes.
Probably actually need more than that, to be honest, to get a good chocolate taste. Oh, and always make sure that you sift powdered sugar and almond flour when you do your macarons.
We should find little mates for the macaron. Macarons. So these two are friends because they're the same size. This one's a little cracked, but we're still going to use them because just because it's cracked doesn't mean it doesn't taste good.
These two are slightly different colors. I don't know if you can totally tell, both on the bottoms and their tops. They're from different sheets that were baked at different times. So sometimes if you leave it in a little too long, it gets a little bit darker. Does not mean that you can't pair it with another one of the same color. They're just fine.
So now we will start our filling. So you take one, flip it over. You grab your filling from earlier. You just put a little swirly. And you grab your other one. And you smush very gently so you don't break it. Ah! And don't drop it either. No!
What did you do?
This one was my favorite, and then I cracked it. So yeah, really press gently. I was pressing gently, but with the smaller ones, they crack. I was going through multiple flavor bursts. Out of 10, would recommend. Even if it's cracked. Delicious. So here we have our finished product. Look at that. See the chocolate, the feet, and there are exactly 24 macarons that we got. I will post the recipe and you will see that just a third of that makes 18 to 24 macarons, and I still have plenty of icing left over, so it's up to you for whatever flavors you want to make. But yeah, these are the final product. Look at that one funky one. It's my favorite. His name is Blob.
I did go to
You
church.
would never dress like that in the 1900s. You're showing too much arms. Jeez, cover
What
up.
about that ankle?
It burped. That's like my mantra. It's fine. Everything is fine. I am the dog that house is on fire and he's drinking his coffee and just saying, this is fine. Or the reverse of that. I am a little fire person with a whole bunch of dogs running around saying, this is fine. Everything is fine.